Right, good morning, everybody. Monday. I'm going to try and do these on Mondays or Fridays or just when I'm in the van. Psychic Van Man here. Claude Van Damme, Psychic Van Man. Who cares? But a bit of a sort of sad note this morning. Only because of the fame of the guy that I want to speak about, but it was Kobe Bryant who sadly lost his life over the weekend in a fatal helicopter crash. And I was just reading up on some of his honours in his chosen sport, and apart from being five-time, I think it was NBA champion. Guys, if you're an NBA fan or whatever, forgive me, it's not my area of expertise. We have five-time NBA champion. I think it was against the Toronto Raptors. It was the second highest scoring total for an individual player, so 81 points, and many other records that he held in his 20-year career with the Lakers, the LA Lakers. But as a life coach, as a psychic medium, as a reader, whatever you want to call me, all of the above, I do come into contact with a lot of people, and I'm actually also a qualified bereavement counsellor as well. And that area of the work that I do, lots of people do come and see me just to get insight on their own lives, just to get guidance for where they're heading, what they're doing, but also to connect with their loved ones. And if I can just put the naysayers and the tell you what, let me just move that mirror to one side. There we go. The naysayers and the skeptics and all the rest of it, when you're dead, you're dead. All I'm going to say is about that. Yes, the physical body dies. That's the bit I want to come to. But your consciousness, your awareness, that lives on. And even the scientists who like to have proof, they're drawing conclusions that yes, we do live on in some sort as energy, as whatever it might be. That's what I connect to, is the energy of that person who was here, not a physical dead being. Okay, so skeptics, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. So moving on from that. Oh, by the way, skeptics as well, you will be able to disprove anything I say or do, because you would make it your remit to do that. To just skeptics and mediums, you're always going to try and put us in not such a good light. So I'll leave that with you, and I'm moving on. But going back to the sad loss of Kobe Bryant, we do live on, we do move on, but that loss of a high profile celebrity, if you like, sporting celebrity, sporting personality, to me it underlines it. When you see things like that, or disasters where, like in Iran, the plane was shot down last month with many Canadians on board and lots of other nationalities, it serves to prove that life can, for us, physically end any moment, like that, in a moment, tomorrow, the next day, in 5 minutes time. And that's where I really wanted to come to, because I think it's sad when anybody loses their life in tragic circumstances or anyhow, but more so when it's sudden. But especially when it's a high profile celebrity or people in large numbers, ships being sunk, aircraft being shot down or whatever, it serves to remind us that we need to live our lives. We need to go out there and fill our boots. We need to go out there and take every opportunity we can and grasp every opportunity we can. And I have no problem with people come to see me for guidance and looking to move on and looking for a way with their lives, and just to through me find out that their loved ones are okay on the other side and they did make it to heaven or wherever, or to that next level of life, the higher side of life. That's great, but it's the here and now. And you would not believe how many people say, I could really do with Dad's help. And I remember one particular person, I said, you never listened to one word your father said when he was here. Why would you listen to him now? And she burst out laughing and she said, Andrew, I always thought he was wrong. So why do you think he's right now? Has Dad suddenly gained this amazing intellect and knowledge that he didn't have when he was here? So I'm going to say to you, there are people out there who look to guide you, to give you insight. They could be not just me as a professional, but your friends, your family, your loved ones, people you bump into. Look out for those words of inspiration when you're asking the universe, when you're asking your loved ones on the other side to give you some guidance, to show you the way. Just look out for those little signs. And I do quote this quite a bit. It could be, on the radio, it could be the words of a song. It could be the words of a total stranger that you have, just come across, and they've mentioned some words of wisdom to you. Listen out for those. When you ask the heavens for guidance, then listen out for those little ways that they do communicate with you. And like I said, those high profile losses, and everybody's lost in life. People are dying every day. There's a hospital I've just passed. There would have been people who'd lost their lives there today. There will be grieving relatives. There will be babies being born. Life is a cycle. Life is beautiful. Life goes round and round. And although people say, hey, you only live once, yeah, that's this lifetime. I don't want to get into that. That's the subject of another day. But in this lifetime, live your life. Go out there and fulfill your ambitions. Don't leave this life, or when you get to the end of this life, because I do see a lot of people who are maybe not long for this world, and they say, wish I'd done this, wish I'd done that, coulda, shoulda, woulda. And that's the sorry, let me get out to this junction. There you go. That's the upshot of this message, guys, this morning on a Monday morning. The sun's breaking through. There's some clouds over there. The sun's just behind me, as I've now disappeared because it's on the camera. There we go, it's gone. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, yeah. And like I said, with the clouds, with the sunshine, yes, there are cloudy days, there are rainy days, but if you only travel on sunny days in life, you're not going to get anywhere. Sometimes we have to make headway through storms, through snowstorms, hailstorms, rainstorms, droughts. Australia recently, all the fires that's been happening there, these are all sent to test us, stretch us, work together. Because you know what, I worked with a guy a few years back, and he was in the Air Force, the same as me, but believe it or not, he worked as a fishmonger at weekends. That was his hobby, his therapy. And he remembers people bitching and whinging and shouting and in the shops, and he said, and he stood there one day, he said, what this country needs is a war. And he's right. Because when you have a common aim, people pull together. They're not looking after themselves. They're not thinking me, me, me. And those bushfires in Australia, the droughts that we see in parts of the world, Africa, tsunamis, you name it, what happens? Agencies pull together, people work together. And you might say, if there was a God, he wouldn't let this happen, or he wouldn't let that happen. I think these are timely reminders for each and every one of us to remember that we're all in this together. And these high profile deaths and losses such as Kobe Bryant's, I think that they underline the fact that life could end physically tomorrow for each and every one of us, and we need to make the most of it. Work together, pull together, guys. Be as one, and reach out if you do need that help, if you do need that counselling, grief therapy, because grief is not just death. The death of a loved one, it could be the death of an animal, it could be the loss of a job, it could be splitting from a boyfriend or girlfriend, it can be anything. So reach out. There are agencies out there, there are people like me. Beware of the charlatans, those who will just take your money, but there are genuine people out there, and if you want a recommendation from me, I will recommend other people. I'm not just in it for myself. So reach out, because that circle of grief that we live in, it will slowly, you will come to terms with it. You will learn to deal with the hole that's been left in your life, but reach out to other people. And that's what I said about the bushfires and everything else. We need to pull together. If you reach out to the agencies, some of them offer free counselling services. The agency I work for is Cruise Bereavement Care. It's free. Yeah, of course, like anything that's free, there's a waiting list, but it's there. Get in touch with these people, because that's how we pull together, that's how we work together. Shared resources, shared knowledge, shared resources, knowledge. I'll leave it there because I'm driving as well. There is a collective knowledge out there that I believe is not just the universe, it's not just the information superhighway, broadband, internet. There's a collective knowledge between each and every one of us. Your loved ones who passed away, those of us here now, I believe that we all pump information up into this information superhighway, and we can tap into that together. So you might feel one day that you need to go and speak to somebody, a doctor or whoever, and that person, whoever it may be, suddenly has the words that you need to hear, the words of comfort, the words of knowledge, or point you in the right direction. Do not be afraid to seek help for whatever you need, and remember, we're all in this together. Catch you later.